All right, let's talk about something we've all felt. That intense, gut-wrenching force that can either make us or break us. Performance pressure. But look, this isn't about how to avoid it. It's about how to harness it. How to turn what feels like a crushing weight into a powerful source of fuel.
So let's just cut right to the chase. When that spotlight finds you, when everything's on the line, does that pressure forge you into a diamond, or does it make you crumble into dust? The crazy thing is, for pretty much all of us, it can go either way.
And to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start by understanding that pressure isn't just one thing. Nope, it's a total double-edged sword, and it has two very, very different faces.
And here's that paradox in action. On one side, you have pressure as the creator. It's the thing that sharpens your focus, elevates your game, and turns raw talent into legend. But it can also be the destroyer. The very same feeling can fuel that crippling anxiety that makes us choke when it matters most. So how on earth can one single force have two completely opposite effects? Well, that's what we're going to figure out. To solve that paradox, we need to look under the hood. We're going to move beyond just the feeling of pressure and actually break down what it's made of. What is this thing really?
Okay, I want you to pay super close attention to this definition because there's one word in here that changes absolutely everything. Perceived. See, pressure isn't an external force like gravity. It's the internal, perceived weight of what's going on. It's all happening inside our own heads.
So what is that perceived weight made of? Well, you know the feeling. It's the expectations of your coach, your boss, your family, whoever. It's the feeling of all those eyes on you watching your every move. And maybe the biggest one of all, it's that internal burden of being the one who has to deliver the goods.
So, if we agree that pressure is an internal game, well, who's the best at playing it? For that, we've got to turn to the masters, the world's greatest athletes. Let's decode the champion's mindset.
Here it is. This is the secret. The best performers on the entire planet, they don't just find ways to cope with pressure or survive it. No way. They've learned to actively channel it. They take all that raw, nervous energy and turn it into heightened focus, into pure determination. For them, it becomes an ally, not an enemy. And get this, there isn't just one way to do it. Just look at these two masters with completely different methods. You've got Roger Federer, who meets the insane pressure of a Grand Slam final with this almost supernatural calm. And then you have Mo Salah, who does the exact opposite. He transforms that same pressure by fully embracing the responsibility of being the guy everyone is counting on. Calmness versus responsibility. Two different paths, both leading to legendary results.
Okay, learning from the greats is one thing, but how do we actually do what they do? That's what this next part is all about. We're talking a practical, hands-on toolkit to help you make that critical shift from fear to focus.
All right, this is your game plan. It's 3 simple steps. First, just acknowledge it. Stop trying to pretend the pressure isn't there. Name it. Literally say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling the pressure right now. Step 2, choose your frame. This is where you make a conscious choice. Are you going to be a Federer and meet this with calm, steady breathing? Or are you going to be a Salah and welcome the responsibility? And finally, and this is the most important one, focus on action. Forget the big what-if scenarios. Bring all your attention to the very next physical task. The next breath, the next step, the next word you have to say. And you know why this works? Because it redirects your brain's resources away from the part that worries and panics and over to the part that just executes.
So that toolkit is for how you act under pressure. But the final, most important piece of the puzzle is changing how you think about it in the first place. It's one profound mental shift, seeing pressure not as a burden, but as a privilege.
You know, another legend, Neymar Jr., he puts it perfectly. He says, pressure is what you make of it. I see it as motivation. Think about that. The feeling itself, it's neutral. It's just energy. It's the story we tell ourselves about that energy that gives it all its power. We can define it as a threat, or we can choose to define it as fuel. So let me leave you with a question that could reframe your entire relationship with pressure. The next time you feel it start to build, don't ask how to get rid of it. Ask yourself this. What if this feeling isn't a weight trying to crush me? What if it's actually a signal? A bright, flashing sign that I'm in exactly the right place, doing something that truly, deeply matters. If you believe that, what would you do differently?